Your personal social security information may have been accessed without your knowledge. Recent federal court documents show that personnel connected to a government efficiency initiative accessed social security data without proper authorization and transferred sensitive information through unapproved servers. This means your personal details may have moved outside protected systems with no complete record of where they went. Officials have now stated they cannot fully account for what information was shared or whether it remains accessible. Before this becomes overwhelming, let's break this down carefully. In this video, we'll examine what happened, what information may be at risk, what the government has admitted in court, and why this matters to you personally. What the government has acknowledged. According to the Justice Department, internal audits revealed that sensitive social security data was handled outside authorized systems during a specific time frame. Federal attorneys admitted in court filings that previous statements about data access were incomplete. The agency still cannot fully trace what information passed through non-secure servers or determine its current location. This isn't speculation or rumor. The concern is real because the system itself lacks a complete record of how certain data was managed. Why this matters to you. Social Security doesn't just store benefit amounts. It contains your full name, date of birth, home address, and other personal information you cannot easily change. When data like this may have been exposed outside secure systems, even briefly, it creates lasting uncertainty. This is especially serious when you depend on Social Security each month and have limited options to fix problems after they occur. How data breaches actually unfold situations like this rarely cause immediate, obvious problems. Issues related to personal data exposure tend to emerge gradually. You might notice an unexpected account complication, receive a confusing letter, or face a problem that takes weeks to resolve. When the original exposure cannot be fully traced, it becomes nearly impossible to know whether a future issue is connected or simply coincidence. This uncertainty weighs particularly heavily on seniors. You're not just dealing with inconvenience, you're managing time, stress, and limited flexibility if something goes wrong down the road. When answers remain incomplete, planning becomes extremely difficult. The debate over data access. Supporters of the data access argue the goal was to identify fraud and waste within the system, which many consider a legitimate objective. Critics counter that even well-intentioned efforts become dangerous when proper safeguards are bypassed, especially when your personal information and that of millions of other beneficiaries is at stake. At the heart of this debate lies a fundamental trade-off between speed and security, the real concern, uncertainty. If you receive Social Security, your information is being processed behind the scenes without your involvement or awareness. When officials acknowledge they cannot fully account for how sensitive data was handled during a certain period, the primary concern isn't panic, it's uncertainty. And uncertainty is extremely difficult to manage when you rely on a stable, predictable system. The problem of delayed impact issues stemming from personal data exposure often surface months or even years later, long after news coverage has faded. This delay is precisely what makes situations like this so troubling. You won't know immediately whether you'll be affected. You only know that you could be. Where this leaves you. This situation doesn't offer a clear resolution. Instead, it raises unanswered questions about oversight, about the effectiveness of safeguards, and about whether systems designed to protect your information can actually keep pace with how that data is being used. As more information becomes available, the central issue extends beyond what happened during that specific period. The real questions are whether meaningful reforms will be implemented to prevent this from happening again, and how much transparency you, as a Social Security beneficiary, should reasonably expect moving forward.